And we're live, so you know the show. We here at SHEcago Talks. We're supposed to have a good show. I got the doctor in. She peeked in first, but I got a tax person coming back, and we're going to have a part 2 to the series of taxes and business structure, and all that on the show as soon as we come right back. Hold on. Hey, it's your buddy AJ Williams, the media guy. It's that time for your wellness and your wealth to reach new highs, to expand the universe. So give us a call, 312-686-4097, or email us at SHEcago100@gmail.com. That's right, SHEcago100@gmail.com. And join the conversation on SHEcago Talks Live every Wednesday at 6 p.m. and watch your wellness and your wealth rocketed out of this world. That's right. So man, it's already getting crowded. I got my other financial wizard in. What's going on? She must have did some magic. She peeked in for a minute. What's up, MK?
Hey,
DRT.
How you doing?
You know, hiding up like hiding out. Just put your, all we see is your initials like Simon Templar. We never know where you're at. You just show up.
Can you hear me?
Oh, we can hear you good.
Hey, how you doing? How you doing, Dr. Lewis?
Oh, you met Dr. Lewis before, right?
I have not. I do not.
You have not? Oh, well, hey, Dr. Lewis on the show. And we waiting on, well, while we waiting on our little tax person, which is my sister-in-law, she's wrapping up some training because she's going to be doing some stuff for using the Intuit program and stuff. So, you know, I can't let all the secrets out the bag what's going to happen because the boss might be listening like, what's she doing? So she'll be on in a second because she's getting off some training. Then she got to go pop right into some other stuff. But hopefully she's going to be popping in throughout the show and, you know, giving us tidbits how to save money and hide money. And MK would be, she got some tidbits for us to secure that money that we hide. So it's kind of good MK came on today. And we have the revolutionists. Yaman.
You need to stop. If I was 10 years younger, I would be that.
Yaman. Now you the ghost commander. I know you the puppet master. I know you make it happen. But I'm gonna keep that on the hush. Let me waiting on our great tax
share
person.
With you. I had a group of women friends who about 10, 15 years ago had read a lot of things in the media about women being abused and hurt and children in the community suffering from whatever. And so one of the women said, you know what, if we were younger people, I would train a group of women in martial arts and armory, guns. And we could go out and kick some butt behind this. So that's where that stems from.
Well, they got some women in a lot of countries in Africa. There's some great soldiers. They tank commanders and they doing nuclear missiles. So they got them.
That's fine. And we have a history of that. And I don't want to go through all that. Pardon me for interrupting the discussion. Good evening,
we just you know, we just floating it around. That's all. We still floating around. She just, my tax person says she's still in her Zoom. She'll be out in a few, and pardon her. So she be coming in. She's trying to do everything, you know.
As women usually do, right, ladies?
I know. Cook dinner, do this, take care of the kids, groceries, go to work, make
and
the
you
pies.
All too. Yeah.
You know, I'm just a guy. I don't know. You know, hey. I guess my mama used to do all that stuff.
We appreciate you. Thank you, Anthony.
Oh, you know what? I appreciate you that you appreciate that. I appreciate you. All right. That's what I'm saying. The revolution.
Okay.
The revolution. The doctor said she'd probably be a few minutes late. So we got MK on, one of our other financial piece of the puzzle whiz. What's some tidbits that's going on other than staying warm out here. I had to shovel 2 times, stuck at work, get to my mama house, shovel everybody else, and I almost didn't make it to the show. I was going to have to sit in my car, snowed in, but I made it. Jesus, I made it. I know you're going to say something, Maybeth. I see it in your eyes.
No.
Oh, no?
No.
Oh,
I paid some people to shovel, and they didn't shovel.
Oh. That's your cousins and them.
No, they happen to be of another flavor.
What? But, and they did you?
I'm hoping they'll come by this evening, or I'm going to stop paying them to check.
They're waiting for the rest to fall. Don't do 2 times. Let's make it once.
Well,
so MK, what's new on the bracket, and we can get in the financial world, you know?
Yeah, Anthony, firstly, definitely appreciate you for having me on your show. Super excited. Also to be a part of this group with the other ladies that's on the call. So my name is MiKala. I actually run a business in financial services, specifically life insurance and retirement. So my main focus is retirement, also tax strategist to show business owners how to legally reduce their taxes at no additional cost to them. But my main focus is actually providing financial literacy, right? So financial literacy, most people think, financial literacy, right? You're showing me how to make and save money. No, there's a lot that comes with financial literacy, like actually teaching people the game of money and how to utilize that game for their best advantage. So I've been doing this for a couple years. I come from the not-for-profit community organizing background, teaching people about power, how to create real change. And one of the things that I really realized in my communities is that not enough people have financial literacy in their households. We're not normalizing these conversations. And so I'm super excited to be on the call with all of these other amazing women and you hosting us, Anthony. So appreciate you.
Thank you.
Ask, if I may, if a woman contemplates setting up a business, what is besides having the idea or the inspiration to have a business in a particular area, what would be the first thing that she does? And also, we need your information for follow-up in case there are people here, going to view your podcast. What would be the first thing the person needs to consider when they want to have a business?
So for my personal opinion, I think the biggest part is research. Okay. Before you start anything, I would highly encourage people to do research. What are some things you're passionate about, but also when it comes to running a business, you want to think about profit, right? And so I'm assessing, what businesses are most likely to make me most profitable with little overhead, right? Because a lot of the times that can kind of be what kills somebody from starting their business. Simply not having the tools, but also not doing enough research on the front end before going into that business.
And we have someone's trying to get in, Anthony.
Yeah, that was Dr. Ada Blue. She was in already. I don't know. So her video went out for some reason. Miss
MiKala, what's your contact information for those who want to follow up with you?
There it is at the bottom. It's scrolling. 708-368-4045. On the show.
Okay.
Yeah. And Dr. Lewis, what's been going on? What's people having meltdowns with this? Because I'm at the schools and all the teachers didn't show up, and they try to put me in the classroom, make me do this, make me wear 5 hats. I'm like, whoa, I'm retired. I don't do that no more.
Just 1 second. Also, Dr. Lewis, could we also, after answering Anthony's question, could we just briefly talk about the young woman who committed suicide the other day, the beautiful and talented former Miss USA, because there are stressors that are directed towards women and women of color when they get to be have a certain level of success in the society. But go ahead. Anthony was asking you about the stressors that we're experiencing now.
Well, first, thank you for mentioning that. I mean, suicide, that's an excellent topic to cover. I am actually out of country right now.
Are you?
Yeah, I am. And I'm so glad to hear MiKala talk about starting a business, and what the first things, to do, which is not really what I did, which probably would have been helpful. right? Going forward. But no, so she talked about researching your passions and what you want to do. And so that's kind of the avenue that I went, And so as far as the research, I didn't do that as much as maybe I could have. It's kind of like a spiritual choice. I don't know if anybody has started a business based on inspiration, spirituality. That's kind of what I did. And here I am. I'm actually in Milan right now, kind of just weaving through. Some people go to Mecca, some people go to Jerusalem. I found myself in Milan. So,
wonderful.
Interesting.
Yeah, because the shopping is wonderful, but the inspiration is another thing. That's wonderful.
I'm finding that out, right? But as far as suicide, ultimately, what that is people thinking they have no other choice. They think that's the answer, right? So what you're dealing with is you're talking about depression, which I think most people know about, but don't put the weight of the seriousness of what it is to experience despair, right? Wow. And how do we deal with despair? And there's a psychological piece to that, but I think if we're talking about wellness, we're talking about the universe, we're talking about wholeness, and there's a spiritual piece. And I don't think that's addressed enough.
Good,
spirituality, our connection to spirit, understanding our power,
Well, when we get into
women, just hold on for a second, Anthony. As women of color, and if you're an attractive woman, there are stressors that are put on you when you go into these levels of entertainment or just in business. And there are no resources that it seems we as women of color feel that we have access to. And I was just wondering, would you suggest a person do who feels they need help but don't know where to turn initially? What would be the first thing you would suggest? A resource? Would that be your pastor, or what would it be?
I think it would be to tap into what is the problem.
Okay.
Tap into yourself. What is the problem? So when you're talking about, attractive women or women, you're talking about issues of power, right? You're talking about being in situations where male dominated, right? Situations. So it's a power issue. So it's recognizing those dynamics, recognizing the unfairness of it, you know what I mean? And just in really questioning that. Right? What is not right about this situation? And
but
if
the question
it's not right, deal with that.
What I'm asking is, misogyny is something that is a constant in this society.
But it's not. But it is a constant. But it's not something that needs to be accepted. See, that's just it.
But misogyny, you hit on it when you said power and control, and that's very much what we face.
Exactly. Yes. And that needs
power
to be
and control.
And that's why I appreciate what Anthony's doing here with this platform, the recognition of the power of women, the divinity of women, and to spread that knowledge to make it a more livable place for women.
Right.
And I have to say, it's a selfish thing, because my thing is, if I wanted a beautiful woman for marriage, I want her to love me. I don't want her to be scared of me and I can buy her. I want her to, as I look at her as a diamond, I want her to look at me as a ruby. I want to have that mutual feeling to, not just because I'm the man and hey.
But we're not talking about love here. We're talking
about
I'm
just saying,
we are talking about love. We're talking about self-love.
Right. So
okay, but if, say for instance, you were in a work situation and a man who was an administrator or someone over your department, whatever company or whatever, made sexual overtures to you and make your employment condition upon intimacy with him. We're not talking about marriage. And I have a sense that
but we're still talking about acknowledging how I feel in that moment in those hard choices. Not some people make that hard choice to go to HR. It's a hard choice, right? Some people make that choice to leave that situation. In abuse situations.
I understand. It's about personal choice.
And it's about self-love, right? It's all choices. Our whole life is about choices.
Well.
What you gonna do?
What you gonna do? Right.
And how do you make those choices? What are they rooted in? And when they're rooted in self-love, you can make choices that help your preservation.
Great. Wonderful. And I still long to have you and Anthony at the house, but hey, what can we do?
Yeah, that wine, just set the wine out. It'd be real cold right now. But
well, I'm sitting in my dining room, so this would be the place.
Yeah.
But this is the first time in my life I've experienced such lack of social contact. And I'm looking forward to touching, folks and entertaining and so forth when it's safe. It's like, we're in the house. But I'm so happy, Dr. Lewis, that you are able to enjoy, first of all, getting into another country, because I was thinking about trying to get to Mexico and people were going like, well, I don't know. But I'm very pleased that you are. Hopefully, are you enjoying yourself?
It's amazing.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
It is.
Amazing.
Yeah.
It's an act of self-love.
Yes, because you're so calm. I can't tell you if you're real happy, if you're happy, if you're bad.
It's 1 o'clock in the morning here. It's 1
o'clock. We got you up late. You're supposed to be out doing something else at 1 a.m. in Milan. I'm sorry.
Right now.
Oh. Well, we're gonna put you to bed.
They eat late and they go out and party in the evening.
Yeah, that's all. That's what I saw when I went through there. I don't know. I'm just saying.
It's different. It's different.
Oh, Miss MiKala's back.
Oh yeah, well she's in and out. She running groups. She got groups to run. She man, that's the girl right there. That's our future, Maybeth. That's the revolution that goes on and on.
Oh man, just hearing from listening to y'all on the call, just looking to do a lot of good things. I really love the topic, women wellness and wealth. Yeah. Anthony, because this is kind of my first time on here. What's the purpose, you would say, of this platform that you're putting out for people?
Well, this platform is an open platform for women to highlight and promote where they can come out here and promote their product and services and just network. Y'all might just build a friendship. You might not ever buy nothing from her. She might not ever buy nothing from you, but you open a friend, but she got a friend she got a slew of friends might need your product, but you made a friend. You made a connection.
Also, this is a resource in case you are wondering about how to do things. None of us come here knowing everything. We have to reach out, and this is an excellent way of making contact to talk to people who may possibly, and women who may possibly be able to help you set up your business or to counsel you, Dr. Lewis, and the other women who come here are very helpful with their information, Ms. MiKala.
And I have to say, I'm just dumb enough to know to have some women come on to do it and make it happen. I ain't got to do all the work.
He knows what to say, doesn't he?
I'm dumb enough to know that y'all know it, so I know to grab to you. And like I say, I tell anybody, there's been a gap. I've been around the world through Milan, do this and that, and all my life I've seen women go through a lot of stuff. As a police officer, man, why? I'm in Korea. Women got to walk 2 steps behind the man, and and in the Middle East and this. I'm like, what's that? Why? He give her a look like a child. She can't say nothing. She's scared to say something. Some just started driving. Some just getting their name on their ID.
Saudi Arabia, they just started to. One of the reasons I was offered a job in northern Nigeria, and the fundamentalists had taken over, and I didn't take the job because I was told I couldn't live as a single woman on my own. Because it's a no-no in Islam. You had to be with a male, your brother, son, husband. You couldn't live on your own. and I couldn't direct men in the office I was going to be running because I'm female. So there are a lot of things which, but we have the subtle misogyny here. But I guess that's something that we all have experienced, but we have to deal with it in our own way. And I appreciate your comment to remind us, Dr. Lewis, that we must love ourselves. And with that love comes the primary and paramount thing that we must demand the respect that we should have, and go to HR or quit where you're working if you're experiencing something that's very traumatic. You still with us, Anthony?
Yes, I was just talking to our tax person. She just got off for other things, so she's about to pop in. She's going to get a laptop, and she'll be in a few seconds. So we can put Dr. Lewis to bed, sing her a lullaby, so she can get
you be safe, and we look forward to seeing you the next podcast or in person.
Are you sending me off?
No, not right now. I said we go. That's why she's coming on, so we can send you off. We're not gonna keep you all night because I know you probably been out doing it all. You about tired.
Yeah, you need to go out and get some tapas or something. It's wrong country, but the correct idea.
Yeah.
Have a little glass of wine and chill.
Well, they got that wine around the world. They make wine out of everything. They got some wine. They got some wine for you. Well, I'm just glad to see all these faces, man. I'm happy. Man, I feel like I made it to the top of the world. Look at my pit. Look at my thing. My graph is full of women. I'm good.
Well, you know, the Dogon people say that to speak to a woman in pleasant tones will give a good effect. So thank you for your kind words, Anthony.
Like I said, I've been a nerd in the herd. I never been a cool guy. I try to be cool. I stumble and fall, you know. I'm just a nerd. So, you know, hey, I used to love growing up playing with the girls. I used to be like, well, where the girls at today? I didn't know they eventually was supposed to be my wife and all that. I was just like, where they at? Ain't we gonna play with the girls? We can't play without the girls. I don't know why I always thought that. Where the girls at?
Let me ask Miss MiKala, what is one of the most important things to keep in mind for a person with a small business in this new 2022?
I think that's a great question. I'm relatively still new to running my own business.
Okay.
So this is going on my third year per so. I would say from what I personally learned is to not live off your business too fast.
Whoa.
I think it's really easy to increase, you're making good money now, but it's not guaranteed like a job is, right? Where, hey, I know every 2 weeks I'm getting this check. So I would definitely say for people who are planning on running a small business, not only do you have to work 80 plus hours a week to obviously get your business up and running if you're willing to commit that level of commitment to be successful, but also not to live off your business too fast, cut overhead, cut expenses, things like that. So that way you can actually scale your business because I definitely believe in investing back into my business because that's what helps it grow. So that's what
that'll segue into, since what you do with the finance and the insurance part, how do you use the tools or financial tools that you're producing to keep that safe and to grow it and secure it for the future?
Right. So specifically what I do when it comes to life insurance, because most people typically associate life insurance with death, right? After
old age, yes.
I pass away, right? Or, whole life. But life insurance has significantly changed in the last, 20, 30 years. And a huge part of what people are utilizing the industry for is to really be able to grow their wealth, right? And when I say grow their wealth, we're talking about compound interest. We're talking about money that does a lot more than just leaving it in your bank account, right? And this isn't new information. It's something that's been going on for quite some time, but I don't think people that look like us have ever really got the time to truly get educated on what that can look like for them, right? So what the wealthy have done, they have utilized the life insurance industry to literally create their wealth, right? Like McDonald's is a franchise company right? They have a system in place that gets them the results out as quick as possible. But most people don't know that Ray Kroc, when he went to go franchise McDonald's and open up other storefronts, he took money from his life insurance policy while he was living to be able to franchise McDonald's, right? Or Disneyland. We all know about Disneyland. And Walt Disney took money from his life insurance policy while he was living to be able to create Disneyland. And so basically what I do, I normalize conversations, and I like to say that I break the barriers when it comes to financial literacy, when it comes to really knowing what are the best places for me to put my money, right? Like, so ultimately there's 3 different ways that money grows, right? You have fixed, which is the bank, variable, stock market, 401ks, 403bs, and then we have indexing. We'll talk about that. But fixed is basically the bank. So most people, they don't really get excited about putting their money in the bank, but they kind of just put it there because it's safe. Hey, it's not going anywhere. It's cool, right? The con side to it is that they don't really see too much of any growth. So, right, hey, fixed is safe, but no growth. Then you get into variable. Oh, my 401ks, my IRAs, my mutual funds, my TSPs, right? Where you can grow money here. Absolutely, you can. However, there's no safety net. So you will also lose money. And it's not a if, it's more so a when. You know, look at what the market did in 01, in 08, 09, housing market, right? Look what 2020 did.
Right.
People lost anywhere from 20 to 40% of the money in their 401k. And so what I specialize in is indexing. And so it's a newer version of life insurance. It actually, indexing, universal life came out in 1997. And it's pretty much a mixture of fixed and variable. So just kind of imagine they had a baby and it was indexing. And so indexing gives you the best of both I can never say that word right. Words. I'll get it right. You know what I'm saying? You kind of got some of them words you can't say right. Is that one. But indexing gives you the safety of fixed, but growth like variable. And so ultimately what I do for clients is I show them how to grow their money and never lose their money, because the money is actually never being invested into the stock market. It's being linked. And that's why you don't need a Series 7 or anything like that. And then the best part about it, according to IRS tax code 7702, life insurance is a tax-free vehicle. So what the wealthy have been doing is that they've been allowing their money, let's say compound interest, 6 to 10%, sometimes more, every single year. And they're putting their money in this vehicle, and then they can also access that money without having to pay taxes. And so, again, when I kind of started off the call, I mentioned financial literacy is not only about making and saving money. Financial literacy is about understanding the game of money, so that way you can play that game to your best advantage. And that's pretty much what I do for families. I educate them around that concept, and I show them how to utilize that tool for their best advantage.
Wonderful. Can I just mention that I see the scroll about FOLA. FOLA is an outpatient treatment center on the South Side. And it provides subsidized and, if needed, free outpatient treatment services with referrals for housing, for HIV, and for a number of other things. But sometimes I find when I talk to folks, they don't know where to turn if they have a relative or they themselves are substance abuse affected. They don't know where to go. And so I do say folks should call FOLA Clinic, located at 8014 South Ashland. The phone is 773-487-4310. They're open Monday through Saturday.
And here is our tax business person, Miss Darline.
Hi, sorry.
Another hard-working woman. No wonder the men can't make money. All you women making all the money. Can I just get a little piece? But MiKala, that was good, because that's really, and let's think, if I would have done this stuff when I was a cop and all this, I wouldn't have to be begging for no PPP. I wouldn't have to be begging. I could have just went over, got my money, and I ain't had to worry about paying nobody back, and I could have had my media empire already built. But I'm going to give Miss MiKala a call, because I'm paying all of my profits that I make on my small business out in taxes. Ooh.
I would advise, Darline can definitely speak to that, because she's a tax professional.
Fine.
I'm just specifically in the life insurance industry,
and
we just show people how to be able to access that without
keep it safe and grow it. But this is the lady that might help you kind of play with the IRS, hide and see, catch me if you can. Miss Darline, good evening.
Yes, good evening.
Hardest working woman down there in Bloomington, huh?
I don't know about that. I'm trying to pull
she's
you up
so
on
humble.
my laptop.
Oh,
So right now I'm on my phone.
did just as good. That's why I have this show and I got it set it up. You could be on your Apple Watch like Dick Tracy.
But Miss White, just curious for yourself, because you said you have a small business.
Yes.
Do you know if you use an S corp or a C corp?
I've got to check.
Okay.
You know, she got peoples that set it up, so she just knows she's running it. She got a business. She got a business. But this is the lady. Yeah, she just we get into Miss White, we'll find out she got a whole empire somewhere here.
Wish I did.
It sounds like
would really be coming if that was the case.
Yes.
Yeah, it sound like Darline can definitely assist you. And I know for our end, when we do business with business owners and small business owners, if they have an S corp or a C corp, they can actually take what we call like a senior executive universal life policy. And it's basically like a tax write-off, right? Because the business is actually paying for it. You could be the beneficiary, right? Or you could be the person who the policy is actually on. And because that money is actually growing in that policy, since the business paid for it, they get to write it 100% off, right? So that's a way that you can write, hey, this is a write-off, it's 100% written off. But also on the flip side, I'm the person insured, so the money that's actually grown in this policy, because I'm the business owner, but I'm also the insured. I can access that money in my policy.
That's a thought.
That's a thought, right?
Different ways for sure, but I'm sure.
So, Miss Darline, since
I'm listening. I am so unprepared, but I just got off of Zoom.
Oh, we know. I already told them. I briefed them. They've been briefed.
Yeah.
They just like you. All of them coming from everywhere else. We got one doctor. She's all around the world. Remember you told me I need to get a psychologist and all that? Well, boom,
yes.
Dr. Lewis. Meet Dr. Lewis, Darling. You told me to get one. She's here.
Wait, I can know who you are.
So, Darling, LLC. I got an LLC. Not just me. I'm just saying me. So I'm running my LLC. How is that helping me with my taxes? Since I got that structure. And I know we talked about the other wins that you didn't say that was the best, but since I got an LLC, what benefits am I going to incur having that LLC, if any at all?
I believe when we talked about it last week, we talked about the difference between an LLC and perhaps a sole proprietor, as far as that going on your personal tax return. And I explained to you with an LLC, the benefit is that it pretty much isolate you from any tax liability or tax consequences, because the LLC is not associated with you. It's its own entity. So if someone goes after your LLC, sues your LLC, it doesn't affect you. It affects the LLC.
Wow.
So I divorced Miss White and she want to get my money. So I make sure I keep my money in the LLC. So all Miss White
is just a makeup thing, Miss Darline. He's just making an example. We're not married.
Absolutely.
So Miss White only get the $50 I got in my personal account. That's all she could get. That's all the liability she can get, right?
Well, I mean, she can sue you personally and sue your business. But what I'm saying is, if she sue the business, and if you have $100,000 in your personal account, no, she can't go after you through your business.
So she would have to do two separate
lawsuits, basically.
Lawsuits.
Yeah. Right, because you're even though it's your LLC, your business, but your personal assets are not tied to your business assets.
Wow, because I have a sole proprietorship and I'm paying taxes. Everything I make in my business goes into taxes, and I'm gonna have to do something about that.
Your sole proprietorship goes on your personal tax return.
Yes.
Right.
I'm finding that out. I found that out.
Yes.
Because it's like I just worked for free last year, and I'm hoping.
But Darlene, there instances that can help you as well as hurt you too?
What do you mean? Which one are you referring to?
I'm talking about, since she has the sole proprietor, isn't it? If she made so much money, like if she didn't make, let's say she didn't make too much money really on her personal side, so when she combined her business, it would probably pan out for her. Like say she got a job, let's say she works for the government, she makes 100,000, but then she if she makes 300,000 in her business, that might hurt her. But if she had a personal job, she only made $10 an hour, and now in the sole proprietor, she made 100,000. Well, now it might even out because she don't make too much.
Unless but see, her business, her sole proprietorship, that is going on her personal tax return schedule too. Right.
So she's messed up either way it goes.
So she may not make that much as far as wages working for another employer. Right. But if she brings in, let's say, $100,000 from her personal business, now unless her expenses really offsets her income, she's going to pay some taxes on.
I found that out.
Yeah,
I found that out. It's stinging still. I found that out.
Like a bumblebee, huh?
No, a wasp sting, honey.
So in that case, now you sit down, you've been doing taxes for quite some time. So if you was to be in her ear, you would say, well, Miss White, you might want to do the LLC. Well, that would be some of the advice you give her unofficially.
Well, okay, remember also I explained to you last week, even when it comes to an LLC, now, once you do that tax return, it's going to produce a K-1. And I explained to you the best way to describe a K-1 is similar to a W-2. You're still going to report the wages or your profit on your personal tax return.
But you did add that if you wanted to keep it separate with the LLC, you didn't have to put it on that.
No, I did not. I said that the LLC is separate from your personal, basically, assets. But if you have a business, it's no different than an S Corp. If you have a business and you can file the business tax return, but that business tax return, that profit still goes on your personal tax return. And what it does, it generates a K-1. And like I said, for a comparison, it's similar to a W-2, but it's not a W-2.
For clarification, so you saying now that $100,000 I made in my LLC since that K-1, now I thought it's still, because what you're saying, it's going to show up on my personal taxes that I made 100,000 plus my personal, the job I go to. I thought I could keep it separate.
If that's what you gross. So
say I grossed 100,000. I got to show that on my personal.
Through that K-1, we talked about that K-1.
You see what I'm trying to get at, Darlene? If I go to court and Miss White is my ex-wife, she trying to see what I made. I'm like, look, this is what I'm trying to hide and say, well, I only made 30,000. But she say, Judge, Your Honor, he made $100,000 on Williams Media Group. And I'm like, well, I got that. That's in my LLC. That ain't in my personal. But now you telling me I gotta.
You can keep money in your business. I mean, you can put money back into the LLC so that when you produce the K1, it won't show all that profit. But either way it goes, whether it's an LLC, a S Corp, a Corp, it's going to generate a K1 for the partners or for whatever partners. And that profit is going to be split, whether it's 50-50, 30-70, whatever the percentage goes to each partner. It's going to, the K1 is going to show that. But like I said, you can keep some of that profit in the business. But either way it goes, if you have a business, just like on her sole proprietorship, that goes on her personal tax return on a Schedule C. So therefore, when you do a LLC, a S Corp, or whatever you're going to do, you still have to report whatever income that you're really taking out of the business. And it's going to show up on a K1.
So if I don't take any money out, she don't need to, that other person won't see that in my personal income. It won't show up. That's what I'm trying to say. How can I hide that from that showing up in my personal? And so Miss White won't be seeing it.
In the business.
Yeah.
You're going to keep it all in the
business. Yep.
I mean, I'm just hypothetical. Not like I would try to keep something from my wife.
I'm gonna have to talk to Miss Darline because I can't continue to work with no profit because the taxes just eat me up.
But I was under the impression, since the taxes eating her up, I was under the impression that Miss White, you need to do an LLC. But when I'm hearing from you, the LLC won't hide nothing either. She still could be taxed. Great.
Okay, Anthony, your ex is not going to get any of your money when you.
But I appreciate everybody for having me on the call. Anthony, I actually have to go, but it was nice meeting you ladies.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure.
Absolutely. If you all need to be in contact with me, I know he shared it below. Thank you all.
I'm going to have mine and some insurance with MiKala. That's what I'm going to do.
Okay, and I know that we're coming close to an end, and I just want to be clear about something as well, that depression is treatable. Okay. I think it's important that people know that you can alleviate depression with treatment. Okay.
And there's no shame to seeking treatment. I think that's a thing that we as people of color, if I can be so bold, have a problem asking for help.
Right.
But in some of that depression, we kind of come up with ourselves because of things outside instead of
all of the depression we come up with ourselves. Really, I mean, all of the depression. It's our assessment of how of how we live in, right? Because you can have one person in a situation, they're not depressed, another person in that same situation, and they are depressed. It's how do they assess?
Of course.
And how,
it's about perception and feeling. Yes.
But you want to know, but you want to take that space to recognize, am I depressed? How do I feel about this situation, right? That's a process of self-care and self-love, doing that assessment of how do I feel about this? That's why paying attention to how you feel is so important. Feelings are important, right? And I think that's something in the African-American community we don't pay enough to. We don't describe these feelings. This comment, feeling some kind of way. What does that mean? Feeling some kind of way. Let's talk about what are the feelings, right? So that we, get to know ourselves, because we know that we matter. How do I feel about this? Take the time. Meditation,
thank you so much.
Prayer,
thank you so
right?
Much.
And then the main thing is, how do you feel about it? But if even if you don't acknowledge that, your body will cry out. Okay.
Absolutely.
That's where, illnesses, fatigue, right? Because everything is connected. Everything's connected. Just because you don't acknowledge that you're unhappy about a situation don't mean you're not faring well in that situation.
Mm-hmm.
And in the African-American community, we stuff, and it can show in different ways. High blood pressure, we got our chronic illnesses, right? That's our body's reaction to being under pressure.
And historical anxiety as well. Yeah.
It's all connected. It's really
before we leave, excuse me, Miss Darlene, could I have a contact number for you?
309-310-6078.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So if you don't mind, Tony, I'm gonna go on and sign off because I gotta do some more.
We coming to an end. We about to put Dr. Lewis to bed.
Lewis, and you have a safe trip back. And
so hey,
enjoy yourself. It's really lovely over there.
Thanks for the depression stuff. And hey, we got to know. We got to talk about it.
Yes. Absolutely.
Not just money, money, money.
Maybe Dr. Lewis could arrange with you to do a special program and devote a portion of the time to dealing with getting in touch with yourself and depression.
We'll do a series like we did the tax series with Miss Darlene. We'll do a couple of days if she's open to it.
If she's open to it, of course.
I know she don't really talk a lot, but we'll get her to talk to a few minutes, and she'll just smile.
Online counseling.
Hey, that's what they're doing now. HMOs. Hey,
we need it because the situations, as people of color, we have historical problems which were heaped upon us, and
it's in our DNA.
Yes,
so we really have to take the time to care for ourselves.
Yes.
Well, ladies, I want to keep you as a snowy night. I doubt it's snowy in Milan. So go out and enjoy.
What's the weather in Milan, Dr. Lewis?
It was 66 today.
Oh my gosh! If I didn't like you, I'd say something naughty. There's so much snow on my stoop that I need to have him come over and shovel.
Go rope the moon.
My walk and my drive. I can't get out of my front door.
Go lasso the moon and some stars for us, Dr. Lewis.
All right.
We'll just be here in envy.
Take care, everybody.
Thanks for coming out, ladies.
Anthony. We got to talk about something. Not tonight, but tomorrow, okay?
Okay.
Take care now, hon. Bye-bye.
Bye. Hey, it's your buddy AJ Williams, the media guy. It's that time for your wellness and your wealth to reach new highs, to expand the universe. So give us a call, 312-686-4097, or email us at SHEcago100@gmail.com. That's right, SHEcago100@gmail.com. And join the conversation on SHEcago Talks Live every Wednesday at 6 p.m. and watch your wellness and your wealth rocketed out of this world. That's right. Come get the 911 on the 411. For women, from women. Hurry. Remember,